Today we start with the build of a new series, and that is a Team ReVolt team car, and we're trying to build a C2 legal car. We are going to use the Tsunami chassis. We had one left from the V2. You know there was a V1, or you don't know, V1, a V2, and the current model is the V3. There's been minor changes and updates, but the last one of the V2s is this one. And if you have a V3 you can barely see the differences, but this is a V2. The 3D printed parts are already bolted in here, so we can actually really fast start with the things we want. We are using this too-low gearbox. It's not really a fun gearbox to get in a build. I don't know how well the camera is gonna pick this up, but it is actually, it is just too wide. Now I managed to creep it in here somehow. Yeah, that's mainly due to this little motor from Hobbywing. So I can also put, when the gearbox is mounted over here, I can also put other outrunners in here. It is not touching anything. We steal a little bit outside the rail on the passenger side. And then we have the controller from Hobbywing. This is the 10BL80. It has been tested in Bolt for a while. It's good. It's not the best. It's good. So we are starting with this one in this car. Later on, it may get an update. We will see about that. So what do we need? Links. We want to end up on a 315 wheelbase at max when completely compressed. So that's what we're shooting at. So we're gonna try to keep the front short. Now you will say, what axles are you going to use, Mr. ReVolt? Because this is a center output gearbox, the way it is mounted over here. That's one of the annoying things of this gearbox. It's a center output, and decent axles actually have an offset pumpkin in the front, which makes this one not easy to work with. But we are going to work with a set of axles which are still center diff. That is for the rear, which most axles have, and then in the front we have still a center one. These are the Meus nylon portal axles. They are very good. I am using these on Bolt for more than 2 years. You know what he has been testing, you know what he has been through. He's seen some rocks, and there's actually nothing wrong with the axles. Now I am a little bit mechanical cautious, so that's maybe also a reason why they're still alive, but yeah, they have been abused, let's put it that way. So first I will take the axles apart and see how it looks inside, because this one does not feel very well. It's grinding actually, so I don't like that. I will need to shim it. When it's pulled out, it's really smooth, but when I push it in, it's actually grinding. So probably just a few shims will solve this problem. Then need to tinker. Do I still have some weights to go on here? A little bit of front weight never hurts. We will also take the rear axle apart. That one is smoother, but again, if we push it in, a little bit of grinding in the reverse motion. Yeah, we will shim them out. Let's take these apart. Let's see how everything looks, how it is greased. Maybe I come back when they are open. I'm not gonna take you through the complete process of opening up the axles. We will need to make links. That's not going to be so hard. What else do we need? Let me think. Yeah, we need a receiver. We already have the electronics. There's a radio. There's a servo. This is of course is going to be servo on axle. That's what these work best with. So servo on axle. Let me thinker. We have some bumpers made, and that's necessary to be C2 WRCCA Class 2 legal. So that's okay. Links, axles, tires. There's huge assortment of tires to choose from. What else do I want to say in this first introduction? There's a body, and that's probably going to be the same body as the one Bolt has. And that's of course the cliffhanger body. We have one. We will, yeah, I think it will fit. Gotta watch out. What's the regulations on the bumpers? Does the body need to be? Does the bumper need to stick out? I need to look all that up, how it works. But I think this one will be a good body for this build. I like that that body, that cliffhanger body. So yeah, nothing more over here, I think. So this is gonna be or a very short first one, or we come back. Yeah, I need to build shocks. Now I still do have these team factory shocks from Element, and maybe, or I built a set of fake drafts that goes just as fast. We will see how that goes. Okay, we took the rear axle apart. It was very well greased, as we are used from Meus, with this kind of blue grease. I don't know what it exactly is, but it is nice greased. We at the same time dropped this slider, the rear pumpkin slider, on here, and then this axle is really smooth now, and yeah, I'm happy with how this one works. We had some weight hangers for F10 axles, but they don't exactly fit the Meus F10 portals on the rear, so not sure. I will need to grind them out, or we start as is. So that's one. This is the front axle I'm taking apart, and this one is really grinding. Now the problem is I need actually to pull this one, the pinion, out from the ring gear, and yeah, there's no way to pull him out. I can shim and then it goes inside, but I actually would need to pull it out. So I could do a shim between the drive shaft when that one is in, and because over here it's really smooth, but if I do that 1 millimeter in, it's grinding. I still need to open this one, and now we will find out what it is. Anyway, I pulled out one of these shafts to the portal box, and there is an update from Meus on those. Let's see what that looks like. Get it open, because these are, what are these, double shear ones, so they should not have the binding, and this is what we can get out of that axle. If you ask me, that is not more than we can get out of the, how can I do this? This will be the same. Now what we will not have is cogging, because this one is actually going to cog a little bit, like it's free, it's difficult, it's free, it's difficult. This one does not have that. So I am not sure if the, like over here, no, but we cannot turn over here, of course. So and this one will also wear down a little bit. Well, it's an upgrade, and we are going to drop it in there and see how it works. Yeah, that's what we will do. We will upgrade that one. Then we pull this. Yeah, we can pull it off. Everything is per usual, nicely greased, and that fits real nice. Maybe I need to do an upgrade on the bearings, because there were 2 bearings in that bag. Is it going to be the bearing in the back? Let me see. Is this different? This is not different, but maybe the overall length is going to differ. I don't know. It looks the same, but let's find out together. We will quickly open this one up. What is it? It's going to be not the 2 mil, but the 1.5. Let's find out together. And I hope that just as on the rear axle, all these screws are the same, because that's always convenient that I use the same screws. They look the same for now. They probably are the same. Okay, there's one more over here, which is not completely out yet. Okay, now for this one, oh, it's okay, it's not a pin going through, the pin is over here. Okay, so let's see what we have here. This is the top of the box. Yeah, and now I wonder, this is different grease. In the rear we had really blue grease. I see some traces of blue grease, but it doesn't look blue anymore. That's going to be the same bearing. And why did we get an updated one? Let me see. Can I pull this one out? Yeah, it is not so white. So I guess I will have to change that one out. I'm not sure, but I think it will not fit with the other one. Let me see. That's gonna be just not enough. So we will do this one. I'm going to grease this a little bit extra. Oh yeah, we also want to replace this one with something else. Let me come back in a second. So this is the donator. Bolt is a donator. This is a front knuckle weight. We will find another solution for bolt later. Yeah, I need to put the small bearing in here, because there was also a bigger one in bolt. That fits really nice. There's a bearing over there, so I can actually already, well, I was gonna say I can bolt this together, but I will grease this one up just the tiniest bit more than it is now, because I don't like how little grease there is on this one. Doesn't need to be much, just some grease on there, and then put this one over here. That should actually work. That fits really nice. Yeah, this is an interesting one to follow. I will guide you through this one. We will just drop 2 screws in there. If you work with one of these machines, be careful, because you screw out these this back part really quick. So I always do them in by the machine, and then I tighten them by hand, because this is a powerful tool. Just, and I feel that one was already okay. Okay. Okay, that's enough. That's perfect like this. Now, what do I want to tell you? To get a pin in here, you have to line up this hole with this slot over here, and then if you're lucky, the pin slides straight into the hole like this. So I guess I'm lucky. And then the next step is to put this one down here, and when it's in there, you turn it again, so the set screw can be reached from or through the same slot. That's something special. And now we have a nice bit of weight over here. What am I going to do? I have to open up this one again, so I cannot put the shaft back in. So we will come back. We will come back in a second. So we did both the knuckles. Thank you, bolt. That's nice. We have our drive shafts ready. The ones that were in here are in the back. We labeled them because yeah, otherwise I will never know what it was for. Let's take this one apart. Now we have access, since everything is disabled, is dismantled. Here we go. Here we go. It's on the front. You can always, if you have one, this is the moment to drop one of these brass ones, portal cover boxes, portal box covers in there. If you have one, this is the moment. This is the time. There's always enough of this grease. I just want to see if anything is wrong with these. No, I don't think so. I will be shimming it from the outside, yeah, on the output of the drive shaft, because it is not going to, like this it's really smooth, but when I push it in and it starts, so we will shim it on the outside. I just must remember to shim it on the outside, and then we are good. Yeah. Let's see, can we get it out again? And it sits on the correct side. So yeah, I will spread the grease a little bit. I think that's already really nice. Yeah, there's enough grease. There's enough grease everywhere. So I can just leave it as is. Close this one back up, and then I must not forget to shim this one on the outside. This one went together very well, as one can expect from Meus, and it goes really smooth. The other one, if you've never seen this, just drop it in. You find the place where it grips. There is this brass bushing, and that needs to be in here. So I will keep the axle upside down, because this one falls out. Let's do it upside down so it doesn't fall out anymore. Come on, a little bit, still not good, and there it is. Do a screw in there. Again, be very careful if you work with a machine. And like this, you are actually ready. Nice axle. Ah, that's a good amount of weight. We still have to do this one over here. Where's the hole? Like this. Put this one in. Oh, we are lucky twice. Something like this. Yeah, it's down. Turn it. Where is the set screw? The set screw is over here. Okay, then that's tight. Now let's grab a scale and see how much this is. I'm not sure how well the camera is gonna pick this up. We zeroed it out, and we have a 369 gram axle. That's good. That's good. How much was the rear? There's a pumpkin slider on here. It's 169, 170. So there's 200 grams of difference between the front and the rear axle.